And these positions, these CNA positions, these RN positions, these are positions that people have invested in their time and their money. One of my very best friends, she's actually going to nursing school right now. She works full time. She goes to nursing school at night and she sends me these chemistry questions that I'm like, well, this is just clearly alien. I could never. What are you even doing? What is that potassium? Like, what is
Oh
that?
my God. That's crazy.
She's in her late 40s and she felt that this was a calling. We had talked about her being a nurse since we were freshmen in college.
Wow.
And now she's actually doing it. So there are people who are still so dedicated to this industry who know that God has put that in their heart for them to serve, to be helpers.
Ever felt those awkward vibes when religion and money come up? You're not alone. Welcome to Yahweh's Money, the podcast where we tackle the crossroads of faith and finance. I'm Shay Cook, an accredited financial counselor and the CEO and founder of Crusaders for Change, LLC. Join us on our journey as we discuss topics like tithing, saving, and conquering debt through religious perspectives. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Yahweh's Money. I'm super excited about our guest today, but before I get into that, we're going to be talking about servant security, equipping caregivers with faith and financial wellness. Because today and many days, we're trying to shine a light on the group of critical servants in our society, caregivers and those who work in senior care. Part of my Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program was a growth plan. We're going to be focusing on offering financial wellness programs to employees of senior care facilities. So I'm super excited to talk about this today. These are the people fulfilling a profoundly biblical mandate, caring for our elders and the vulnerable. Yet many of these dedicated workers face crushing financial stress themselves. And I saw this a lot when working with the military. So I see a true alignment with the senior care facility employee. So when the hands that serve are strained by personal finances, their sacred work suffers. We are exploring the powerful interaction of faith, finance, and compassionate corporate stewardship through the work of Crusaders for Change, our financial wellness programs, showing how organizations can invest in the financial peace of their employees as an act of ministry. So our main scripture for today is Galatians 6:9. It states, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." This verse is a profound reminder for both the caregiver and the employer. Caregivers must not grow weary in their mission, but employers too have a righteous duty to sustain and equip their staff so they don't burn out or break under financial pressure. Investing in a caregiver's financial health is an act of doing good that leads to a harvest of better care, reduced turnover, and a more devoted workforce. Today, for our first time in this role, our client success manager, Bethany Hawkins, is on the show today. Hey, Bethany.
Hello, Shay.
Hello. How are you, beautiful lady?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me. I get to see your gorgeous face at least twice a week. So this is just even more exciting because this will be the three times this week.
Three times this
Yes,
week, man. We're behind the scenes. I woke up this morning and I was like, man, we are in true research and development, y'all. You're going to see some great things coming out of Crusaders for Change with Bethany on the team. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Bethany.
So I started my career in criminal justice, which totally makes sense that I'm here now. I worked for the district attorney's office. I worked for a defense attorney's office, and then I went back to the district attorney's office. And I decided I want to do something different. I want to help women, mostly Black women, get their voices heard in their mission. And that brought me to podcasting. And for 6+ years now, I created my company, Crackers and Soup. And then you and I had an opportunity to work together.
Yes.
And I produced this amazing podcast. And then we got to talking about a position that you were thinking of for client success manager. And I was like, ooh, I volunteer as tribute. Please put me in, coach. And you did crazily. You were like, okay, bet, let's do this. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? And you were like, yes. And I was like, let me know where to sign on the DocuSign. So yeah,
Amen.
so here we are now.
Here we are now. Yeah, God is good. I know I had been thinking about it. Well, we had a similar position, but going through the Goldman Sachs program, it was perfect timing, y'all. The people that's on my team right now is all God. Like the timing of Adriana, even Ilea, Janessa, Elena, and Dawn from our marketing crew, Alana, our social media, and of course, me as the visionary and just leading this along. God has really placed the right people on this team. And so I'm really excited for you not to still be our podcast producer because she does an amazing job and she's taking this podcast to levels I never even thought of. And I know we got even more ceilings to break through. I'm just excited about now being able to offer our financial wellness programs, our community financial empowerment series, all of the great programming to people that need it, especially in this time of day. I mean, a timestamp, it is October 28th, 2025, the day that we're recording this. We'll be releasing this in November, but it is a challenging time with government shutdowns and crazy administrations and chaotic just crap going on all around the world. But here in America, there's a lot going on. So we just wanted to say, y'all, we're here for y'all. We're praying for y'all. And we know it's a crazy time. So hopefully by the time you're listening to this, the government will be open for the right reasons. People will have the subsidies that they need and the resources that they need, because that's what I'm praying for, because God knows we deserve that. And we put our tax dollars into that. Hello.
Yes, yes, yes. And this is a wee more important than a ballroom being built. Just saying.
Girl.
Just saying.
Yeah, she said it. And I concur. Well, let's get into our rapid fire question.
Take your seat, let the wisdom inherit. Let's hit the rapid fire questions. Say what's on your spirit. Take your seat, let the wisdom inherit. Let's hit the rapid fire questions. Say what's on your spirit.
All right. Thinking back on your own career journey, what was a personal financial challenge that fundamentally changed, okay, if I can learn how to speak, changed the way you view workplace well-being?
In my career journey, I feel that the workplace didn't fundamentally change my personal financial challenges. I had to change my behaviors. Which I know is something that you and your financial consultants really dive deep into, because the same behaviors I was bringing no matter what I was earning.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that the struggles that I was having were the same struggles that I was having no matter what I was earning. So if I was earning $5 an hour or if I was earning $50 an hour, the behaviors didn't change. Once I really got to notice that it was me, hashtag I'm the problem,
Yeah.
I feel like that's when my financial situation took a better turn.
I love that. Yeah. And that's right. It's your behaviors, your mindset. And we always sprinkle, and there might be some trauma there, right? But I know for me, it was working in the credit unions, them actually teaching me about credit and savings and all that. And then working with the military and financial counseling and financial readiness with the military members, and actually becoming an accredited financial counselor and seeing all these different behaviors people have. And you're right. It don't matter if you were enlisted, officer, E1, O10, it's the behaviors. And I saw that a lot. And people thought, oh, well, their officers are getting paid more. Yeah, but they were getting paid more, but they had the same problems that a low enlisted had. So it's definitely the behavior. So that's great. So in your experience, is the financial stress an employee feels more rooted in a lack of income or a lack of financial literacy? That kind of goes back to what your response was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it is lack of income. I feel as if you have the literacy to get you through those hard financial times, those struggling financial times, and you're able to adopt that behavior and that knowledge. When you go from lack of income to regularly streaming income, you can very easily bring those learned behaviors with you and start saving.
Yes.
So if you are running into challenges where you're having an increased credit card debt and you want to kind of take control of that before it starts spiraling even more out of control. If you take the opportunity to learn financial literacy, when you start increasing your income, then you know how to apply it better. And then with the money left over, then you can apply it towards savings.
Exactly. Exactly. And I would even say if you start to learn and get that financial literacy and education, and then like you said, maybe job loss happens, you're laid off. You can depend on that education to take you where you need to be or prepare. Like for example, when I was laid off from the government back in 2011, I had all this financial education. I knew before I left that government job, I was laid off. I had to put some things in order, right? Had my budget in order, cut back on some things, all that. My husband and I sat down, was like, all right, what can we afford? I was prepared. And thank God I got a job 2 weeks later after I was laid off. But I was prepared to go a few months without a job because I had that education. So that's great. All right, last question. What is the core value or philosophical belief that guides an organization to treat employee financial health as central to its overall mission? That's good.
I think that, like you give your employees the opportunity to share their experiences without shame.
Mm,
And I think that financial conversations come with a lot of shame. It
yes, they
comes
do.
with a lot of hiding. It comes with a lot of embarrassment. So if you are an employer, you need to have an open door policy where your employees feel comfortable coming to you with these type of problems and conversations, because when they are holding them inside, it's going to affect their job. It's going to
Exactly.
affect how beneficial they are at their organization. And when you're
Mhm.
dealing with senior care, you can't and don't have the opportunity to mess things up. When you're dealing
Amen.
with medications, when you're dealing with people who are unable to move as agile as they used to be, you have to be very present. So
Mhm.
if you're consumed with, am I going to be evicted?
Mm.
And you can't share that with your employer because your employer A, doesn't care,
Mhm.
or B, is going to make you feel even more shameful,
Mhm.
that's going to have a trickle effect for the people that you have taken an oath to care for.
Amen.
So having the employer be the first line of defense of when you have something seriously going on and happening, and saying, I will stand by you and I will hear you. I may not be able to give you a raise, but let's see what we can do. That is so pivotal for any organization. I don't care if you have 5 people or 500 people.
Exactly. I agree with that. Yes. I was gonna say some people just don't care, Bethany. As we know, there's some employers like, okay, they can figure they're grown, they can take care of that on themselves. But those that really have like that core value of taking care of their people first, I mean, then everything else just flows, right? It's gravy. Like, not, it's gonna be hard times, but if your people are taken care of and they really feel like you care about them, then they're going to do whatever they can to make that business grow, to make you look good, whatever. And I know I saw that a lot working for the government. We had leaders coming in that actually cared about you. I was like, sign me up. I'm here to help you in any way I can. But if you didn't, man, I ain't even trying to be around you. I'm calling in. Like, I'm going to use my sick leave. I'm going to try to find another job. But, it's very important. And money, of course, as we all know, that's one thing. It could be healthcare, which we're dealing with right now. It could be childcare. It could be, exercise, whatever programs you offer, pet care. I see that a lot right now. People are like, sign me up. You got pet insurance? You offer pet insurance? You offer pet daycare? But we're here to offer financial wellness, and that's huge. I always tell people that runs through everything you do in life. And if you're there providing some kind of financial programming for your employees, they're really going to be grateful to you and do better. And and they're going to help you, whether it's the seniors, the military, anywhere in between, they're going to be there to support you and do a better job and be more productive. So that's great. All right, y'all, let's get into our main discussion. So, when we're talking about mission and money and discussing the unique financial burdens that many of us face, whether it's low wages, high emotional demand, this is what CNAs are dealing with: certified nursing assistants, RNAs, whatever, working in the senior care, direct care workers. Bethany, speak to what you might have seen in your experience. I know you've dealt with that recently and being in, that world. Have you ever had a chance to talk to a senior care provider or caregiver about these kind of issues?
I just recently lost my mother, and
Yeah, I'm
prior
sorry to hear
to
that.
thank you. Prior to her passing, she was at hospice at home,
Mm-hmm.
which was a phenomenal experience. Nurses, CNAs came in daily, took her blood pressure, took her temperature, made sure that she was moving her legs so her legs didn't atrophy. One even gave her a haircut.
Oh, wow.
These people were so unbelievably patient and sweet. And my mother had dementia. And during some days, she was hostile because that is a signature of dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just a breath of fresh air in how they cared for my mother, truly and utterly like they were her grandchildren.
Mm.
And my sister resided with her to take care of her. So if we wanted to, they would have even cooked meals for her.
Oh, wow.
They would have done her bedding. They were just such an instrumental part in loving on my mom while I was working 12-hour days and my niece and nephew were working. And they gave us the opportunity to breathe during this duress. And then when it got to a point where she had to be transported to hospice care, to a facility, I cannot say enough accolades about that facility. They were so kind. They allowed us to be there 24/7 whenever we wanted to be there. They just asked that we signed in. They had a death doula come in
Oh, wow.
and talk to us. She did Reiki with my mom. They asked us what religion we were. They had a priest come in. It was just such a place of calm and pleasantry in one of the most distressing times of my family's life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need. You need somebody to come in who has a calm, caring disposition.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want somebody coming in all sassy and, and all loud. And it's like your mother's like transitioning. And so she's like sleeping. Somebody coming in with like headphones on, be like, oh my God, what's up? Like, or on the other hand, somebody coming in and is like, hey, how you doing? Like, my dog needs surgery and needs $10,000. Like, I didn't need any of that crap. I needed exactly what they provided for me.
Mm-hmm.
And from an organizational standpoint, I'm sure the employers, actually, no, I don't know because I've never employed nursing assistants. But I hope that they are looking to people who have that caring disposition, who have that understanding, even if it's not in a hospice care situation, even if it's in like just a senior care, that it's going to have a disposition that's going to bring light and happiness to that senior every day,
Mm-hmm.
because that may be the only person that they see. A lot of families aren't super extra like us and is, around their loved one 24 hours. A lot of family members don't go
Mm-hmm.
to senior care facilities and see their loved ones for whatever reason. So those people and those establishments may be the only people that they engage with at the end of their life. So having somebody who's going to bring joy to them towards the end is really important. And if you are overwhelmed financially, at least for me, I know it's hard sometimes to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're so focused on how I'm going to make this next bill. If I'm going to lose my house, how am I going to feed my family? Oh, Lord, it's a struggle, right? And your mind is literally clouded by that. And then if you bring in low wages, which again, we're not here to change the wages, y'all, but some of y'all need to do better. Some of y'all businesses, organizations, corporations, we have to do what we can with what we're given. So, and we as counselors, financial counselors can teach you that. I mean, we will motivate if we find out that you are making such low amount, you can't even afford your basics. We are going to encourage you to look at more schooling or different training and find other job opportunities. But if you really are where you are right now, and in this world, there ain't much out there to find when it comes to jobs, or it's just everybody looking for the same jobs, then might have to say you might have to cut back on this or whatever, budget better, save more, or whatever you can do, and you might not even be able to save, and that's a reality as well. But if you're clouded by that, again, I want to keep aligning this to me because with the military, because thinking about a military member that is in war and he's out fighting the enemy, but all his concern is his spouse and his children. He is not mission ready. He is not ready to be out on a war, on a field, a deployment, even if he's working behind an IT, on an IT play or organization or command, or he or she is and having to man a drone. I mean, whatever it may be, they should not have to be worrying about finance.
And even on a simplistic everyday level, there are so many times when somebody will all of a sudden realize that they're at their house when they were driving because they were so consumed by their thoughts that their muscle memory brought them home to where they were going, but they weren't even really truly paying attention on the road. So in addition to it affecting your day-to-day at your job, it affects your day-to-day at your life. If your child asks for something simplistic like Halloween is coming up, wanting a Halloween costume, and they're in that age of trick-or-treating, and you don't have it and you're working yourself to the bone, that could be a trigger. And then you're snapping at your kid, and the poor kiddo is like, what happened? I just wanted to be Superman. Like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, exactly. And that same goes with any holiday, or like you said, let's make it very simple. Like, Mama, what am I gonna eat for breakfast?
Yes.
I'm sorry, baby. I don't have anything for you. You're gonna have to go to school. And that's real for millions of people in this country and around the world.
Because there are so many educational programs who are eradicating those type of meal programs, not appreciating, I'm not going to say not understanding because they know full well, but not appreciating that those 2 meals are sometimes the only meals that children get. And it's not because their parents are lazy, mooching off of the system.
Not at all.
It's because price for literally everything is so expensive and exorbitant. And they're just trying to survive.
Whew. Lord, help us all. Lord.
What a time to be alive. What a time.
And I'm just going to be real with y'all. Some days it's hard to even just do the work of Crusaders for Change or in whatever we're working in any capacity because people are really struggling. But God gets me up every day and I'm grateful. I'm like, all right, we're out here and about to sit down and change the world in whatever way I can. Man, let's talk about corporate stewardship, right? How organizations, especially mission-driven ones, demonstrate their faith by investing in employee financial security rather than just focusing on retention and turnover. There are, y'all, but mission-driven organizations out there. You should really be going to their websites and seeing what their mission is, what their values is, and see if what they're doing aligns with that. But in addition to all of that, who's out there really helping their employees, right? With the financial, providing whatever programming or support or tools so they can focus on the job at hand, but, and also help with retention and turnover because it really does affect that. Like if you want to retain your people, give them the tools they need to take care of themselves personally as an individual. And then they'll do the job, secondary or tertiary or whatever. But in the turnover, people are going to leave. If you're not taking care of them, they're leaving.
And these positions, these CNA positions, these RN positions, these are positions that people have invested in their time and their money. One of my very best friends, she's actually going to nursing school right now. She works full time. She goes to nursing school at night and she sends me these chemistry questions that I'm like, well, this is just clearly alien. I could never. What are you even doing? What is that potassium? Like, what is that?
Oh my God. That's crazy.
She's in her late 40s. And she felt that this was a calling. We had talked about her being a nurse since we were freshmen in college.
Wow.
And now she's actually doing it. So there are people who are still so dedicated to this industry who know that God has put that in their heart for them to serve, to be helpers. And no dig on doctors. Doctors are amazing.
Yes.
They do great things.
We love our doctors.
Snap.
Yeah.
However, we all know in the senior care industry, as well as in the hospital industry, those nurses, the patients belong to the nurses. The doctors come in, they do all of their amazing things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But when you can't get up off of the bed and you have to go to the bathroom and you need assistance, you call the nurse.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an inquiry, if you feel a pain, if you're feeling dizzy, you hit that button and you call the nurses.
Mm-hmm.
The nurses are the driving force of the health field.
Yes, they are.
And they don't, I feel, get enough love and appreciation for who they are in the industry and what they do.
Until a pandemic happens.
Until a pandemic happens.
And it was like, why are we thinking our nurses now and our doctors now? We should be thinking them at all times. And there's a shortage of nurses and doctors because of the pandemic. So, and it's funny now that I don't know if it's because now we're moving into offering our programs to senior care and working in this world. More and more people in my circle are talking about how they want to be a nurse and they want to be a nurse. I'm like, what? And so it's like really amazing to see it. I'm like, and that is an amazing thing to be able to want to help. And you're right, to help people, but it takes a lot of time and dedication to become a nurse. And I don't know the levels. I think I messed up and said RNAs earlier. You're right, it's RN, CNA, but then there's LPN, right? I don't know all of them. But I know there's these levels and, you get paid more and you got more responsibility and everything. But regardless, wherever you're at in the spectrum, we need all of them. And
yes.
Thank
and
you
it
for
could
your
not
service.
Be me. Thank you for your service. Because it could not be, I could never, woulda. Never would I never. Like, I could not. My husband was an EMT and he would come home and tell me these stories. And I'm like, no, sir. You leave that outside of our door.
I never thought about that. I always used to say I could never be a teacher because that takes you have to be a very special person to be a teacher. But I never thought about it being a nurse. Like, you're right. That takes a very special person and attitude, personality, spirit, soul, like to be able to do that.
Deal with blood pathogens. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Did you get your saliva on me? Oh, no. It was accidental. I understand. But also, I quit.
Man, just even having to wash somebody and wipe somebody's butt, like, that's enough, man. Don't even get me going there. I don't even want to wipe my own behind or wipe somebody else's.
I had my daughter potty trained a little after 1 because I was like,
impressive.
I cannot do this anymore. And like, I hatched her out of me.
Oh my, that's hilarious.
I was like, no. We're going to learn how to put on pull-ups now.
Yeah, really. You need to take care of this on your own, right?
Yes. So nurses, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service and everything you're doing all around in every area. It's pretty amazing, man. And let's talk about our financial wellness program solution. Like Crusaders for Change, we're offering this personalized, customized financial program for and we're focusing on a niche area of senior care facilities in the senior care industry because I know it's our calling. God has been leading. Let me tell this quick story. So when I started the business in 2016, I knew I wanted to help Black and brown women. I wanted to help couples and seniors. It was like, I just already knew that. Like, that was downloaded, programmed from God. Right off the back, helping Black and brown women, like moving forward with that. Really excited about that. Couples started coming in the mix because people, they partnered up, they booed up, they got married, they're married and everything. So I'm helping them. But then I was like, when am I ever going to help seniors? And after a while, 2018, 19, 21, 22, I was like, well, I guess that's not going to be a thing. Well, God knew what was coming. So in 25, I don't know what happened, but God was like, nah, we're taking this turn into there. And I'm like, oh, he always told me Black women, couples, seniors. So I'm excited about that. And what does that look like? We're going to offer financial counseling, individual couple counseling to employees. We're going to have interactive workshops, whether it's budgeting, debt management, how to buy a car, a house. Like we have proprietary programs like Money Goals Matter, the list goes on, and then a bunch of great tools, calculators, resources that we offer. So I used to actually buy this service for the federal government. So I'm glad to be able to finally move into that. We've done some financial wellness programs. Well, actually done a lot in the community side, Community Financial Empowerment Series. It's pretty much a financial wellness program for the community. But now moving into that and having God leading us to that, I'm really excited. And now we got Bethany to help us make these sales and make these connections and partnerships, man. That's exciting.
I'm very excited because, like I said, my best friend is in nursing school. I have another very good friend of mine who actually works in senior care facilities. She is too a nurse. And I love the idea and the concept. My favorite tool that you're offering in these financial wellness programs is the engage in group workshops. Because like with anything, even like walking and steps, when you do things as a group, you get the opportunity to encourage each other. You get the opportunity to rally. You also get the opportunity to share your journey and hardships and slide backs with these core people that you work with side by side every day. But also now you're taking your friendship to a new facet. You're growing financially together. So I love community. I love people just getting together and just hyping each other up because I'm a cheerleader. I'm a hype girl. I will
I
hype
love
you all
that.
day, all day. So when you shared that that was going to be part of the financial wellness program, that was my favorite tool. The calculator is dope. Don't get it twisted. Like I
Yeah,
feel super smart when I'm in there just making up numbers. But like the engage a group workshop, that's my jam.
I love that. And I have to plug us accredited financial counselors because that's one of my big things is being able to do one-on-one with a counselor that's not only accredited and certified, so most likely been kind of through some of your experiences or can speak from that, being able to offer that customized and individual programming and counseling is huge because even though, and I love a good workshop, I love a cohort, just having those cheerleaders, those people around you, rah, rah, all day. But that individual, I mean, being able to feel comfortable sharing some of your most deepest, darkest, shameful, guilty trauma around money and like, all right, and then come out in fresh air and be willing to share that with your cohort. Like, man, I did my work. And let me tell you, y'all, it takes discipline, self-control, and sacrifice to get change any kind of behavior. And that's what your counselor, our financial counselor, C4C Crusaders for Change, will come in to help with that. So having those financial counseling interactive workshops like Bethany's talking about, all the tools and resources that we're going to have as part of this program, I'm super excited to offer this to our senior care facility employees. All righty. So, I want to share our stats for today here financial stress. And we've been talking about this a lot with our silent tax. It's all on our website. If you go to Crusaders, number 4 change.org or C, the number 4C.LLC and check us out there. But financial stress is often called a silent tax. It costs U.S. companies over $300 billion every year, with lost productivity alone accounting for $605 billion annually. In the senior care industry, this stress translates to a high turnover rate, which can cost an organization more than 1.5 times the new employee's salary to replace a financially distressed worker, which is crazy, y'all. So, man, Bethany, this has been amazing. Any final thoughts?
Talk to your employees. Again, I cannot reiterate this enough. They're not just there for a paycheck. They're there because it is a calling, it is a desire, it's something that is important to them. These type of jobs you just don't do just because. You do it because it's in your heart and in your soul.
Yeah.
And as an employer, it is your job not to just make sure that they get paid. U.S. government, I'm talking to you. But it's also to make sure that they have stability, albeit mental health, financial assistance, etc. So if you're listening to this, I know that you're listening to this as an employer. Even if you've never done it before, check on your peoples. They may be like, why are they checking on me? What's going on? Be like, I listened to Yahweh's Money and they told me to check on my people. So that's what I'm doing. So check on your people.
Check on your people. I love that. That's amazing. We cannot ask people to perform a sacred mission while enduring profound personal financial strain, y'all. Like, true leadership means recognizing that a peaceful servant is a productive and compassionate servant. Ooh, I love that. Organizations that partner with programs like Crusaders for Change aren't just making a sound business decision. They're acting in faith and ensuring that the hands serving our most vulnerable, our seniors, are strengthened and not stressed. So I'll say our call to action for this episode is this week, dedicate your efforts to securing the stewards who serve. So practical. If you lead an organization or manage a team in the senior care industry, visit the Crusaders for Change website and schedule a consultation to see how a financial wellness program can transform your workspace. And in the spiritual realm, spend time in prayer for the caregivers in your own life or community, asking God to bless their hands, their efforts, and their finances, because they're super important people. We cannot do life alone. We need each other, and we need to take care of each other. So thank you for joining us today. Bethany, you're amazing and beautiful and blessed and everything great. And so thank you.
Thank
Have a
you,
good day.
Shay.
Take care. A big thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you found today's chat about the intersection of religion and money insightful. We would love to hear your feedback. Hit that subscribe button or follow the podcast. And please feel free to leave us a review. For the latest Yahweh's Money content, visit us at Crusaders, 4change.org, or find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Until next time, stay financially fit and spiritually inspired. And remember, it's always better Yahweh's way.